Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Wonder Park. Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon present this latest animated feature-length film released into theaters. And I have to say, those trailers did not impress, to say the least. I wasn't really looking forward to seeing Wonder Park. In fact, this probably was my least anticipated major studio animated release of 2019. But of course, any film can surprise. That's why you go in with an open mind, hoping for the best. Unfortunately, this one is not the best. And while not a complete disaster by any means, certainly not quite the quality you would hope for from a theatrical release. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Far and away, the biggest positive is the overall messaging of this film. It's a beautiful and wonderful message that is multi-layered and multifaceted, and it really strikes a chord on all accords. Of course, there is kind of the overarching message of really inspiring your kids' creativity. Not only not stuffing it out, but really nurturing it and encouraging them to be imaginative, be creative, be proactive, and be right there with them. It was really nice to see like a full family imaginative type of film come to life like this, and it worked. Also, everything to do with kind of depression and sadness and a dark place worked very well as well. And it's plenty cute. The characters are all cute and thus somewhat endearing due to the cuteness of their animation. It's very bright. It is very short. It is under an hour and a half. So those are all positives. But unfortunately, the negatives do outweigh the positives when it comes to Wonder Park. So let's go ahead and talk about said negatives. First of all, the way it's shot. The way that this whole film is animated and kind of the lens chosen for the film was not appealing. We focus a lot on like close-ups, like super close-ups of our main character, our side characters, all the characters. We get like super up in their face constantly. And then when you add on top of that the fact that they do this weird fisheye lens for like 75% of the movie. So it creates this really strange effect where the character's like super in your face with this like fishbowl head. And it was pretty off-putting if I'm being honest. And I was like, what am I looking at? But even the bigger shots, a lot of them have that fish eye lens, and it didn't make sense, and I didn't understand it. And the director tried to get super artsy with it, and let's say J.J. Abrams would be proud of the amount of lens flare that happens in this film. Again, a very strange choice. And not to mention, the whole film is shot like shaky cam style. It's like an animated handheld camera with like these weird angles and like sweeping motions and like chaotic movements. And then it'll go to like the bigger grand scheme of things. It's very strange in the direction. Overall, directing, very off-putting. And then we get to the animation itself, and the quality's just not quite there. This feels like something that should have aired straight to Nickelodeon, or it's kind of on par with the animated films we've seen from Netflix, and that's not a compliment. They're very childlike. The animation is very basic. The motion, in particular with our human characters moving, is not fluid like you'd hope. But more than just movements, even like facial expressions on mostly our human characters. The animal characters seem to actually have more expression to them. But our human characters, their faces just didn't move. And then the lips didn't match up with like the warthog in particular that's in here. And then textures, when it came to textures. Sometimes they would be great, like the water looked wonderful in this film. And every now and then, the bear in particular had some nice hair fur texture to him. But then everywhere else, the texture just looked flat. The park itself didn't have the wonder you would hope for. The movie just kind of never felt fully rendered, to be honest. And that's what makes me feel it wasn't quite suited for the big screen. Plus, the script itself and the jokes are all aimed at a very young audience. It is not one that is going to entertain from the smallest of your kids all the way up to your grandparents. Very much aimed at a target audience, and I guess the bright colors and the jokes hopefully land with that audience, but if you're not super young, this is not maybe the film for you. So overall, Wonder Park was not as terrible as I was anticipating it to be, but it definitely feels like it was better suited for the small screen, whether that be onto Netflix or just aired straight to Nickelodeon itself. So if you have small children, probably like age 5, I think maybe this is a fun time for them to go to the movies, and it will maybe inspire you and your child to create things together. And that's always a great thing. But definitely see it as a matinee. Don't pay the full price to see this with your 5-year-old. However, if you're just an animation fan, if you don't have kids yourself, or your kids are older, you can just probably skip this altogether. Maybe animation fans can watch it when it's on for free, or it comes to Netflix. But other than that, this doesn't really offer anything new, significant, or much needed to the animation landscape. So that is my review of Wonder Park. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Wonder Park, or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!